Hey, hi everyone, this is Vanisha, and in today's video, we're going to see how to use the IP filtering API policy available in API management. Let's say you have a gateway on your environment and you have exposed the APIs for your end customers to consume, and you have a requirement wherein you have to restrict the access to your API via IP addresses, as in you want to allow or restrict the traffic to the specific API only from certain IP addresses. In that scenario, you can use the IP filtering API policy. So I'll just give a demo as to how it all works. So here on my screen, I have sampled API service and the associated listener processes, which I have deployed to my local gateway. So let's just go to the APIM screen, and here under the Manage API tab, you'll have the option to create the policy role. So let's just create a policy here. So you can select the type of policy you want to create. So here in my case, it's IP filtering, and we'll have to fill out the details such as the name of the policy and the HTTP method, whatever you want. So such as get, post, put, patch based on your requirement, and enter the description for your API policy. And we have two options to create the policy here. One is default creation and the other one is advanced. So if you select the default creation, you can do the configuration from the UI here. Okay. Whereas if you select the advanced creation, you'll have to write the code. So let's just go with the default creation option. Um, the match all from X forwarded headers, so you have to set this to true. So when if it is set to true, then the IP addresses in the X forwarded header parameter, they are parsed individually. So coming to this whitelist IPs and blacklist IPs, these are the important sections. So let's say you want to hit the API only from a specific IP address or a list of IP addresses. You'll add those IP addresses here in the list. Similarly, if you want to block the traffic from certain IP addresses, you'll add them here. So let me just cancel this. I have already created the IP filtering policy. Let me just show you that. So once you have created the policy, you have to add it to your API, okay, for it to be effective. So you have to click on the add API and search your APIs, and just select this option as to when you want to execute your policy. So I'll just click on close. So let me just edit this and we'll test the API once. Um, so here in the whitelist IPs, I have added some random IP address. So ideally, the user will be able to hit the API only from this IP. So if you try to hit the API from any other IP addresses, then you will get an 403 error. So let's just do a quick test. So I am on my local machine, and I'm using the this is my gateway address. So if I hit this API now, the request goes from my local IP. So let me just click on send. So here, as you can see, you're not allowed to reach the API, and the error is 403. This is my IP address, so this is my source IP address. So since this is not whitelisted, it is expected that I cannot reach this API. So let's just allow the traffic from my local IP address so that I can access the API. So let me just go back to the uh, so here we are, we'll add the API here. Sorry, we'll add the IP address here and click on save. So this is under whitelist IPs. So you'll save the policy. Okay, your policy is saved now. So let's just go back to Postman and re-hit this request. Yeah. So now you're getting a 200. Okay. And this is my, so I've just added to notify the IP address, and we are now able to successfully hit the API. So similarly, let's try to block our local IP. Let's click on edit. So I'll add the IP here and I'll remove it. So since this IP address is blocked, you should again receive a 403 error. Let me just go back to Postman and test it one more time. So there you go, 403. Let's try another way. Let's try adding the local IP in both whitelist and blacklist IPs and see how the API behaves. So, so I have added the same IP address in both the sections and save the API. So as you see, you'll not be able to reach it because this IP is blocked. So if you add the same IP, if you add the same IP in both accept and reject lists, then the policy will be rejected. So yeah. So I hope this information helps and you have got an idea as to how you can use the IP filtering API policy. Thank you for watching this video. Bye.